Hi and welcome to Tweet Street. I'm Mick Tiffany and I'm a novice lizard canary keeper and breeder. Join me on my journey as I strive to breed birds good enough for the show bench. Hi all and welcome to another episode of Tweet Street. This little episode I was just going to go through some singing birds. They're singing their heads off at the moment. It sounds really good. Nest baskets, what I'm doing with those, and sharing the love of the hobby and what people are doing and what I'm doing to help promote the hobby and to get new people involved. Firstly, I should probably start with the nest baskets. I had these ones in the picture now previously for the last couple of years. They hang on the outside of the cage. Now I've only got a small bird room, quite narrow, and when I was walking along once or twice I've knocked them. They're a great idea. They just weren't really. I can see an accident happening, so I've took them all and given them to my mate Bob Snedden, and he's going to use those this year. And he's got a bigger bird room, and so a little bit of a treat for him. He treated me back, give me a couple more show cages. So that's brilliant. Thanks very much, Bob. But I'm going to go over to using. I started this last year. Went over to these wire baskets, like in the picture, and they were great. And they go on the inside of the cage, so even I can't knock them off. And I'll show you what I do with the coconut fibre. I kind of tie it in to give them a base of the nest. So when we come to that time, I will show you what I do there, and it's actually quite good, I think. Anyway, spring is springing into action in the garden. We had about 3 minutes of sun, so the plants come out quick, flowers come out, and there you see, it's that time of year. I've noticed some of the hens are ripping up bits of paper, flying around with them, so they're getting ready. So they've had their usual bit of food this week, and give them a bit of apple. We had quite a bit of apple for one of our oleo collections, our free food collections. So that went in. They've also had obviously a bit more egg food, not too much. They're having it about twice a week at the moment, and that sort of slowly gears them up towards building them up ready for the breeding season. Now I've also been increasing the lighting in the bird room. This is the bird room lighting. I've got 4 LED lights in the ceiling. They're quite bright. It doesn't really show on the video too well. They are quite bright. Everything's on a timer, and I'll go through that app in a moment. I've also got cage lighting, LED strips above the cages, which I only don't use all year round. When they go into the molt later in the year, I probably won't use those. And that there is just a lamp. That's a dimmable lamp, so that comes on first. That takes sort of 20-30 minutes to dim up to full brightness, and when that's on full brightness, then the other lights come into action. So the main lights come on, and then just after that I've put the cage lights come on. So I use this app called Tapo, and they make all the lamps. They make the cameras that I use, and they make like the plug sockets that you can plug stuff in. That's been really useful. And this is the app, so I've got it all on my phone, and I can just pop in. I can turn things on, off. I can elongate the amount of hours the light's on quite easily, just altering the times. And I find it quite easy to use. I know some of you, or I used to use a bit of kit that done it sort of more mechanically, but I just find this a lot easier, and they really like it. And that got my birds into where they are at the moment. They're about the light hours at the minute. I'm on about 12 hours at the moment. I want it up to about 13, just 13 and a half maybe. So that won't be too long now, another couple of weeks. I just tend to do it on a weekend, just extend the lighting either a little bit before or a little bit after sunrise or whatever, and that seems to work really well. Right, now during the week, obviously the birds were singing really well, and I thought I would try to record each of the birds singing. Now, two of the main birds, the cockbirds, were singing. One was in a cage and one was in a cage below, and so I took a video of both, and obviously I wanted to get it then from a vertical format to a horizontal format, and sort of compare them, to sort of have them singing off to with each other. So what I'd done, I copied that vertical video and split it into two, brought both of those videos next to each other into a timeline, reduced the volume of one of them to 0 and kept the other one as it was, and knitted them together to make this horizontal viewing. So you've got both birds singing at the same time, even though they're in a cage excuse me, above and below each other. They're there now, and they're having a sing off. Now the gold cock, he's a last year's, a 2023 bird, and they're quite funny. When in their first year, obviously when they're young, you can see the cockbirds outside trying to get their voice, and they get a little chirp, and then they progress into proper singing. It's really nice to see. The other bird on the right of the picture is a 2022 silver cockbird, and he's a cracking singer. I mean, he's tuned, he's honed his skills, and obviously they must feed off of each other when it's singing. You know, one must hear another one, and that gives them the buzz to sort of, like, you know, to compete a little bit, and it's just a really nice sound. We've got 4 cockbirds, 4 lizards, all singing, and the Rasa cockbird, he has a really nice little warble. I'll try and get him on his own, separate that so you can see the difference, because all the canary breeds sing different. And that's these. So I'll put a standalone video of those on. Some of you may have seen that, but that's how I've done it. And I thought, hey, I've had a clever moment, hey? Not all good looks, me. So there you go, the singing birds. Now, in previous episode, I mentioned the International Lizard Canary Forum that Alan Jordan hosts. Brilliant for getting information and things like that for lizard canaries. But this part is really where I want to sort of promote the hobby of breeding canaries and keeping canaries. YouTube is a great outlet for it. It's your TV channel. There's no mainstream TV channels to do with canaries, canary breeding, so you're down to YouTube, and you can watch what you fancy on YouTube. You can put together a really great TV channel for yourself. My personal channels that I watch at the moment, and I'm open to any others that you might recommend, please do. My number one is the Canary Room with Matt Eld. He's been going for decades, I think it seems. I think I even had hair when he started doing these YouTube channels, and learned so much from his channels, and they've been brilliant. Especially I like when he has Keith Ferry on the show, and their little specials. They seem to get on really well. The information you get off them, you learn so much. That's my number one go-to. It's brilliant. I also like watching O.C. Avery's and seeing what Ollie does with his natives and his crosses and stuff like that. He's got some nice birds there, really, really nice birds. Presents really well. I also, my third one is David's Birdroom in Ireland. He's got a variety of birds. Sort of looking at his siskins just on the last episode, looking really nice. Nibbling on chickweed, which they love. Which grows quite readily around in the UK. And they're the sort of 3, but there's another fella, and a few weeks ago he started up his channel a similar time to when I started mine up, and this fella, oh dear, he's got so much enthusiasm and energy for the hobby. I get stitched just watching, and he's pucker. You've got to go and have a look at this guy. His name's Mike. He's the Five Life, an Australian canary hobby, and he's just, I don't know. You'll see. He's top banana, and I really love watching his show. Look forward to seeing when they come on. He's in Australia, so his birds have sort of gone through the molt now, as opposed to ours here in the UK, where we're just getting ready for breeding. But he has different things to contend with. He's in 30-degree heat. It's March the 1st out here, and I've just been out this morning. It's 4 degrees and there's a frost warning. How the other half live? He's over there mopping sweat off his head with a towel, and I'm in my aviary mopping the rain off mine with my towel. But it's a great show that Mike does, and I wish you all the very best in doing it. So please go over there and have a look. The Five Life Australian Canary Hobby. Subscribe to his show and have a look what he's done. And he's a proper professional, unlike myself, and who just waffles on. He does a great show. And he just wants to promote the hobby, and I know it's generated some great interest in Australia and all over the world. Look, I'm miles away, and it's got me buzzing as well, and I think it will do really well, and it helps promote the hobby. So go and have a look at Mike's show. He's got Facebook too, and like I say, there's no mainstream TV for canaries and stuff. It's down to YouTube and which shows you want to watch, but you can make yourself a nice little TV channel for during the week. You know, you can pick half a dozen or so different ones that you want to watch, and you can keep up with stuff and see how people handle things differently, like the bird husbandry that Mike comes out with, and Matt out, and that second to none. And you'll learn, no matter what breed of canary you have or want to keep, the husbandry is very similar in all of them, and it's keeping the birds healthy. And then obviously these guys do fifes, and they look at what they want in a fife. I'm trying very hard to breed lizard canaries, so I have to look at different things. But you learn so much from these guys, so I've got a little snip of him there, and just go and have a look. His sound, I love his show when it comes up. And I wish him all the very best, and all the rest of the guys I've mentioned. You're my TV, and you've made my hobby really enjoyable, and I've learnt so much, and a lot of other people will have learnt an awful lot as well. So thanks, guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. So, and that's me for another episode. Another week's time. What are we? That'll be 7th or 8th of March. Oh, not far off. All the hens by then should be in their own little cages, getting settled down, and we'll see how that goes. So have a good time, folks. Look after yourselves and take care. See you later.